Hey guys, it's Stacy and Hutch, and apparently our bosses thought that we didn't talk enough.
So we're going to do a podcast.
We're going to say too much. Hopefully we don't get fired, but it's a podcast, so they can't fire us for having our own thoughts.
And we don't get paid for this, so how can you fire from something that you don't actually do for a job?
You're not getting paid?
No, are you?
Let's start the podcast. Yay!
Yay! Everybody's here now. Isn't that
Everybody.
nice?
Hold on. I got to fix Ross's thing. Hold on.
You got to get fixed.
No, stop touching it.
Stop.
God.
Famous
There
last
you go.
words.
Hello.
Don't touch it.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Well, hello. We are back for another edition of Stacy and Hutch Say Too Much. The Chef Ed one was so much fun. So if you missed it, it was last week and the week before.
He's like on live all the time on Instagram when you are.
I was
I'm like,
with him.
I was going to hang up on you so
Oh,
I could
were
watch him, but then I
Him and I
decided-
did one together with
Did you?
Lana. Remember Lana?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on with her.
You
and
liked her
him.
the best.
She was great. She got
Oh, we're talking about the show he was on.
pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker.
And Lana was the one where she switched teams last minute.
Yeah.
And then that team voted her out.
No
Oopsies.
spoilers, Hutch. I only have like half of it left.
Yeah, it's all right. It
That's
won't-
okay. That's okay.
It
It's
won't
on-
spoil the thing. for you.
At this point, it's on me anyways.
We want to thank Mattress Galaxy for another year of sponsoring Stacy and Hutch Too Much.
Yay!
Thank you to everyone at
you.
Mattress Galaxy. All right, so let's just get into it.
Okay.
I've been avoiding this for a little bit, or just not knowing how to talk about it. I get so many messages constantly. My Instagram lives.
Mhm.
What happened in November, Hutch, that you haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
happened-
everybody's asking me about. I was like, it's not my place to tell him
Right.
the story.
And this one, you tell this one to keep a secret, she'll keep it. Like she, unlike other people here, that'll run and tell you. Rachel, our promotions person, don't ever tell her anything.
Oh no! Unless
Oh,
you
my God.
want her to tell people.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Well, no, Stacey and I talked about it. Stacey knows what's been going on. But first off, I've said this when people ask, I go, not cancer, not anything that's I'm not dying. I'm great. Things are fine there. But let me start at the beginning. For the past like 15, 20 years, I've kind of just had this issue with weight. As
Like a lot of people
do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh, well, clearly it's a mindset for me. Or clearly I'm not doing enough exercising and I'm not eating the right things. So I went on this journey for many, many years of trying to do what I needed to do. And some things worked. I did the fad on and off, did all this stuff. And then finally, the last couple of years, basically even like when I had a kid, from when I had kids on, I went to go see a professional, a doctor that specialized in weight loss bariatrics. And they said, well, let's do this first. You do months of personal training and I've got a dietitian nutritionist for you. It's great. Cool. We'll do that. And before I moved up here, I did that for quite a while and I lost hardly anything.
Mhm.
And
It
I
also
followed it.
It was rough too. It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, definitely. But I did, and I barely lost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to my doctor. He goes, well, you may be surprised by this, but everybody's different. And I go, what? Everybody
Really?
has different bodies?
Wow.
And apparently the genetics I have, it's just hard for me to lose the weight. When I was here, I maintained it. I never really gained too much, but I was always just a bigger guy. And so then we tried, when we realized that wasn't going to work, then we tried. Oh, by the way, and I loved working out. I still do. Like I enjoy it. It gives me a nice little rush. So he's like, let's try some medications. So I'm like, okay. And in fact, I'm on a medication that you're on for, I don't know if it's for the same thing or what it's for, but it's called Spearmate and it helps other things. And
Mine's to keep me from stabbing you.
okay, good. It also gives you seizures. No, it helps with seizures. Sorry.
We kid.
But so I tried that and it didn't work for me. And other things didn't work for me. And so he finally said, listen, and I've been thinking about this for 10 years, just thinking about I have friends that have done it. He goes, we probably need to do bariatric surgery on you if you want to get to where you want to get to. And I said, oh, okay.
Sounds intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's two different types of surgeries they could have done on me. One was a sleeve
Mm-hmm.
and the other was called the R&Y. And with my doctor, we discussed it and I did the more aggressive one, the R&Y. Which is where they take your stomach and they split it into two. One's the size of a walnut, and the other is still the big size where it produces acid. Hence why Stacy, if you didn't catch it, she said it maybe once or twice. maybe under her breath.
Two stomachs
It's
like a
two
cow.
stomachs like a cow. So I have technically two stomachs right now. So I did get gastric bypass November 9th. And it's not really about how much weight I'm losing. It's more about not being pre-diabetic. It's more about
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
not having sleep apnea. It's more about in the thing that I get, and I get why people say this. It does get annoying, but I understand. So if people say it to me, I'm not gonna get mad. It's, well, you didn't look like you needed it. You didn't look like I heard it everywhere. Our GM said, no, you're
I
doing
didn't
that.
think so either. And then now that I know you, as I know you, and I look back at pictures of the two of us,
Mhm.
I'm like, ooh, a couple of
He
junkers
was
there.
a big guy.
We were junkers.
Well, so just for people to know, November 9th, and I don't like to say weight numbers because I'm not a big scale person, but to kind of see where I'm at 2 months, 2.5 months later, I'm 60 pounds down.
Wow.
And I've never felt better. Like I'm sleeping, which is insane. I don't know if I was really pre-diabetic. I've done a ton of tests like labs and stuff. And my labs have always been pretty normal. My
Mhm.
blood pressure has been okay, but my blood pressure is really good now.
But you
It's
know,
like 75 over 100.
with advancing, the older we get, the
Yeah.
harder it's going to be, and the
no.
more risks there are. So I think
Mhm.
it was smart you did it when you did
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Could you tell that you weren't sleeping great, or do you now know after the fact?
I
you
know
weren't
after the fact.
sleeping great.
After the
Yeah.
fact, 100%. I mean, I
Okay.
knew I'd sleep apnea.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that I had certain things that were preventing me from sleeping. But when you're not sleeping, the first thing you blame it on is anxiety, depression,
Mhm.
bad days. You don't think of your health really as bad sleep. You think of your mattress. You think of a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
More so than your health. And don't get me wrong, all of those things do play a part
Yeah. Yep.
into your sleeping patterns. But for me, it was more or less. I was 305 pounds. And a lot of people are shocked. In November, just before November, I was 305 pounds.
When you told me the first time, and this is again, I don't want to be one of those people that says, "Oh, I didn't even know you were thinking about that," or
Yeah.
"Did you really need to do that?"
Mhm.
I always thought you just looked normal. Like there are people who are, I mean, now seeing you, it's night and day.
Mhm.
But if you would go back to, let's just say mid-October, I will be one of those people that would have said I never once thought about it. But now seeing you, one, I can already see how much happier and healthy you are.
Mhm.
But two, all the other things that you mentioned. And somebody who is kind of now on the opposite side as you, Hutch, I have an underlying health condition where having my weight in check.
Cats. Is cats your underlying health condition?
Cats.
Okay.
No, at this point, basically a lifelong diabetic. And I can tell you, as I get older, I continue to get heavier. And it's gotten to the point where I have talked to my doctor too. And oftentimes he's actually been more reassuring than I have.
Mhm.
But also on the flip side, it makes me think, maybe I need to talk to somebody different because I can't keep going year by year, getting heavier and heavier and keep getting well, you are getting older. You're not 18 anymore. You're in your mid 30s and the BMI scales aren't, necessarily what we go by.
No, and
But-
you really shouldn't.
But when I see you, I mean, I first and foremost, I'm really happy for you. But I do want to know what really did go into the decision. Was it those health things that you talked about, or was it just the frustration
Well,
of wanting to get down to a quote unquote number and not being able to get there? Because I can see, Hutch, when you're talking about working out every day and doing the things that the dietitians are saying,
Mhm.
and then you go look at the scale and maybe you've gained a pound or two, I can just feel how discouraging that would be.
Mhm.
it's discouraging for anyone.
Sure.
Anyone listening has those same problems.
Yes.
And everyone fights every day. I still do. I love working out. I listen. Cardio sucks. No matter who does it. You can talk to Jeff Galloway, one of the best runners to ever be around, and he'll say running sucks. It's hard on your body.
I despise it so much.
But I love light weights. I love, and so it is discouraging because a lot of people don't understand, well, you're gaining muscle, so you're gaining weight, and then you step on the scale and you're like,
Like, what the hey?
yeah.
But then, and there's a lot of people who don't realize that either. And then you'll try and close and you'll all of a sudden, like, all these pants fit me. They didn't fit me before, but
Yeah.
I weigh more than I did last week.
Mhm.
What? It's confusing. It's very
It's so-
confusing.
It's not only confusing, but it affects your emotional well-being.
For sure.
And the opposite goes for losing weight. When Stacy and I went through our divorce, we lost some weight. Like Stacy lost You're still what, over 50 pounds?
75. I just figured it out.
75 pounds.
Mhm.
And so, look, everyone has their problems when it comes to weight and health. Mine wasn't so much about my appearance because I'm on the radio. Now they make us do social.
Now we're
Right.
more out than ever.
Now
but-
you're on YouTube, you big YouTube star.
Yeah, we are.
I'll tell you this, though. When people say, and this is idiots saying this, that if you get surgery to lose weight, it's the easy way out.
Oh.
Stacy has been with me for the past 2.5 months and have realized how hard it actually is. And I've talked to people that have done this surgery 15 years ago, even 3 years ago. You know, I've had friends that have done it, and it's not easy. It's not the easy way out, and it's still a continual progress of your brain saying, hey, you need to eat a meal.
Mhm.
So get your sandwich, get your chips, get your salad, and your stomach is going, you can have 2 spoonfuls of yogurt and you're done
Mhm.
for 6 hours.
That messes with your brain.
It's a big mental mind freak.
And I still think, Hutch, based off of what you said, even for your medical team, it wasn't the first option.
No,
Right?
no.
They put you through multiple different
Years.
ways to
Years
try
and
and
years,
do
yeah.
this before it even got to this point.
This was a last ditch effort before I turned 40. The reason I did it last year was because I had that emergency back problem, that back surgery. And I'm
Right.
like,
As long as you're
if
lying
my
around.
medical's already at the deductible.
I already met mine for the year.
Yeah. So
Which-
Stacey's going to be doing a lot of stuff this year.
Well, and let's be honest, Hutch, with that back issue that popped up, losing the weight and having weight
That's gonna
gone
help your
has
It's
back.
going to help the
that
back. Yeah. Yes, it will help my back. But the problems with my back weren't necessarily with weight. There was bone fragments shredded in my spine.
too. That's-
Mm,
So,
That's-
but it
sounds
could
not
have,
painful.
the
at all.
fragments could have come from compression. But yeah,
Who knows? Yeah.
here's the thing though. If you do consider this, know that it is a lot. If you can lose weight as what people call the normal way, exercising and eating healthy, do that. But then if you can't do it, still talk to your doctors, because I apply, they say apply. Your doctor recommends you. It was what I told you about this in April, May, March, something like that.
What?
That I was going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had 3 appointments with a dietitian.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 3 appointments with a therapist and a psychologist. I had appointments with doctors, and then I had appointments with physical therapy. So they
And is-
make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not doing it for any vanity.
Just because you want to be cute.
Right. So it's one of those things where I didn't take the decision lightly, and no one should. But I'll tell you, it was definitely the best decision I have ever made in my life as far as my health is concerned.
Mhm.
And my family, they have the same genetics I do, and they're struggling too, you know? And so I told my sister, because she is sleep apnea, and I think they're going to look into it, but it 100%, a lot of it is genetics. It's not like, hey, fatty, work out.
Right.
That's just not how. Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes there is that. A lot of the times it is genetics, and it is how your body is wired.
Or it's your hormones. Let me tell you something. I haven't worked out it's been almost 4 years now.
Mhm.
And I've lost 75 pounds.
Right.
Go
And-
figure.
and-
I used to work out like a
Well,
maniac.
let me tell you, and her eating is not the greatest.
It's not.
I'll
I'm
tell you.
trying.
I'll tell you. Well, even,
I have soup in here.
listen, I'll tell you, she goes home and but here's the thing, she's not a cook.
No.
But when she goes out to eat, she picture things. But when she's at home, I love her house because it's like going to a kid in a candy store.
Oh my gosh. I'm embarrassed to have grown adults over and have them look in my pantry and
She-
freezer because it's all canned food
I'll
and
tell you,
frozen
she
food.
has the best
bad.
tortillas, the best queso.
So good.
She has the best of everything. But, and that just goes to tell you, you can eat different things, and your body's
Right.
going to react
Yep.
differently than everyone else.
Yep.
And I did get one of those nifty like ovens too
Oh,
now. So I
yes.
get real food. I just don't have to
Yeah.
cook it.
Yeah, real food. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tovala?
Yes.
Cavallo. I don't know.
Tovlo.
We call it Tovlo.
Tovlo.
There's a restaurant like right by my house that's a similar name, so I get them mixed up. But anyway, it's very
Oh, yeah.
nifty.
Yeah. And that's a good restaurant.
It is.
That's
I-
where she met Harry Connick Jr.
I know
Yeah.
you probably don't even care to hear this, nor does it matter to you because it does seem very vain,
Mhm.
but you do look really good.
Thank
And
you.
to hear you say that you're happy,
It-
that's awesome because
listen.
at the end of the day, for all of us, That's all that really matters.
would
We
be
don't want to
one.
hear you whining as we're
Yeah,
heading out the door.
yeah, exactly.
And listen, there's plenty of people that say I look good, but one person always tell me my head's too big for my body
Oh, yeah.
now, and that's Stacy.
Yeah, you got a candy. You're a walking candy apple.
Yeah, she goes candy apple. I'll tell you this though, it is 100%. Yes, it does feel good to have people say, "Hey, you look good."
Yeah.
You know, it does feel good, but I'm telling you, what feels better is how I'm feeling.
Yeah. When you're not super
When I'm
tired
not
all the time.
sluggish, and I'm literally going to bed at 11, waking up at 7.
Wow.
That's
You
great.
know, I'm
That's
going
great.
to bed. You know, where I used to go to bed at
Like 9. I know. I used to make fun of you, but
and
you
wake
really
up at
did
10.
that. Yeah.
You know,
It was nuts.
Stacy, you calling him a candy apple, that just I had to take my glasses off because I have a couple tears in my eyes. But I also started on Netflix. I'm a big documentary guy.
Mhm.
And I have been going through Pressure Cooker, by the way, as I told you, I'm about halfway through. But I started watching this documentary. It's now taken me parts of 2 nights, but it's very good. But I've been watching it at night as I doze off into La La Land. It's on something they call this guy the Pez Outlaw. Have you seen
I've
this?
I've
seen
seen
that.
the preview.
It's-
Yeah,
I didn't see any of it though.
It's really good. But now that she called you the
you
candy
call me a
apple,
Pez dispenser.
you actually, there's a Pez dispenser that I think they should just call the Hutch. And when you see it, you'll know it if you watch this documentary.
Well, for the state fair, maybe we need to get our own Pez dispenser.
I
Oh
think
my god, I'm enjoying State Fair this year because now I can just sample
yes.
and
yeah.
not feel like I have to eat a whole slice of pickle pizza
What if
because
we,
it's there.
because it's there. Yeah,
What if we talked to the state fair and told them, here's an idea. What if for $75, $50, whatever it was, you purchased a ticket or whatever,
Mhm.
and then you could go from booth to booth and you could just get like little tiny
One
samples.
cheese curd.
Yeah,
I would
one-
like that.
wouldn't that be
They
great?
should do a sample platter.
They
thing.
should, because I tell
One-
you, I can't have a whole thing of those cheese curds. They're delicious, but they're too salty
Oh,
for me.
Sweet Martha, I love you, but I
I
don't
can't
even
eat a
need
whole cone.
I
Not a
don't- yeah,
cone.
I don't even need the cone. I
Yeah.
just need
A couple.
cookie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Couple
that's why last November, I was supposed to have the surgery the day after State Fair ended,
And then
Tuesday or Wednesday, and the nurses strike.
there's a strike screwed
In
that
fact,
up.
I got the call
Yeah.
when we were on the air at the State Fair.
You were so bummed.
I was, because
And it really
for-
screwed up our scheduling.
a couple days beforehand, 10 days beforehand, they make you stop food and you do protein.
Yeah. So he was like all
I was
prepped.
like, wait a minute, I'm at the fair and I could have been
you
eating.
could have been pigging out.
And you tell me now but I still had like 3 more days at the fair, and I'm like, all right.
That's when you run around the fair and you
Just
keep
with
all
your
your-
mouth open.
you keep all your receipts and then you send it
Yep.
back to the doctors
doctor
and the
and say,
nurses
"Here
and
you go."
invoice them.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
the good-
on you.
The good news is the nurses got what they wanted, I hope, anyway.
Yes.
And you
yeah.
got your
got
surgery.
what I
and-
needed. So I like I said to the person thing real quick here. I don't want to make it sound like I'm mad at the nurses, because I
No.
said this on the phone to
course not.
them. I said, look, I completely understand. It's upsetting,
Sure.
but I
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
understand for sure. So yeah, anyway. So there you go. That is it. Feel free to and by the way, I do want to thank all my doctors, nurses. I was in the hospital for a couple days. That took care of me. Everyone at the Health Partners Bariatric did such a great job, and they know what they're doing, and they're very proficient, and they warn you,
Mhm.
By the way, hence why I got the kidney stone.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So-
Explain that.
Yeah, explain. Did they tell you that this could happen?
They didn't say this was one of the there's a lot of side effects to this that
Yeah.
I do not want to go into detail on.
Okay, good.
Let's just call one of them called dumping syndrome.
Ooh, that doesn't
Um,
sound good.
But they didn't tell me about this side effect. But once I talked to the doctor that specializes in kidneys and stuff, he said, "Are you doing a ton of protein and not enough water?" Well, my whole diet has had to be a lot of protein shakes, because for a month and a half there, I couldn't eat because my stomach couldn't handle harder foods. Now I can eat anything now.
And you only have so much space in your
and
tum
so,
tum,
yeah.
so you can only have so much water.
Oh, I'll tell you, when we did, it was a month. It was a month after the surgery. That month anniversary would have been Case 95 for kids, and I was just struggling
Oh, yeah.
that whole day, just trying to figure out, how I'm going to get through the day. And then they wanted a dinner at night, and
I know. He's like, you should just go.
Crisco knew what I was going through. I didn't tell many people. I don't even. If I told Ryan, and Crisco might have told Ryan, which is fine. I don't, but anyway, it is what it is. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. It's one of those things where I know a lot of people were concerned because it seemed like it was more than it was. I just wanted to keep it quiet until
Right.
I did it.
So that
It
and you can
happened.
get
Yeah.
through it all,
Yeah.
so you could explain
Because
it.
the last thing I need is people asking me questions while I'm doing it.
Right,
and
you
I don't know the
answer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So,
frustrating.
anyway. Hey, by the way, want to thank Mattress Galaxy. Did you know, Stace, they have same-day delivery?
They do.
Oh, my gosh. And did you know that you can order online?
I didn't know
oh,
that.
my gosh.
That's exciting. You know what else? They really saved me when I had to be home for a while. I was supposed to sleep with my back, like pillows
Oh,
behind me.
yeah.
But I didn't need to because I have my fancy base.
The adjustable base.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My Tempur-Pedic, and I love that.
That's one of the best things about your place is that she has this base. Like if you start snoring or whatever, it goes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or she has it massage, like it massages, shakes your feet, and
I love
it'll
that.
adjust for you. If I can imagine if your partner snores, you just push up the button so they
Yeah.
stop.
Mhm.
And they've got some really good stuff. And here's the best thing. And this is what I love most about them is that they're salespeople. I don't even call them salespeople.
But the people who are
the
there,
experts.
the experts,
The sleep
yes.
experts, they're not commissioned.
Mm-mm.
And so I don't feel like someone's trying to push something on me because they're going to get a ton of money,
Right.
you know?
Like,
and so
because I used to hide from people in furniture stores until I knew what I wanted. And then I'd be in there bold and proud. But now I don't have to worry about that when you go to Mattress Galaxy
And you
because they're just going to help you sleep better.
Yeah.
That's all.
just go check them out. Hastings, Hudson, New Richmond, and their new location in Woodbury as well, online at mattress-galaxy.com. All right. We haven't done this in a while. This is the first one of 2023. It is time for Pass or Play.
Pass or play, and we're gonna pass or play, and we're gonna pass or we're gonna play.
It's time for the game.
All right. So this is how it works. We'll do ladies first. Oh, by the way, I told Stacy this off the podcast, off the air. She actually won LAT 2022 Pass or Play because Folger and Grant screwed it up for me at the end.
Ha! They
So-
love me best.
Yeah,
This is news to me. On-air production meeting. Are we starting over in 2023?
we are. It's a whole new.
Okay.
There's a champion every year.
Okay, so Stacy, we should get you something for being a champion. I'll work on that.
I'm sure you got some tchotchke in your.
Well, yeah. How about? Can I interest
how
you?
about a
in
kolach? How about a
fascinating-
kolachki?
from Kolachki days
From
in
Kolachki days,
Montgomery,
yes.
Minnesota? I used to spin radio down in those neck of the
I
woods.
actually judged Miss Kolachki once.
Did you?
When I worked in Mankato? There was one woman dressed as Elvis throwing kolachkis at us.
Oh.
That sounds very painful.
I'll tell you this, it's not because they're soft buns filled with jelly.
Yeah,
Oh.
Kolachki. I never got it till I had one. Then I went, oh yeah, these are good.
I would like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
They have
get
those
it.
at a cup. Are they the ones that
I don't think
they
no.
isn't it just a donut you inject with?
It's not really a donut. It's more like a dinner roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
filled with type of jelly.
interesting.
Imagine almost like it doesn't truly look like this, but imagine like the dough that you have in like a croissant, basically.
Okay,
It's
like
a
kinda-
cream
it's kinda
puffy
like
type thing.
that.
Yeah.
Huh?
More
Somebody-
dense, but yeah.
Somebody that's listening to this pod
We'll
or
know
watching
where we
on
can get one?
YouTube will
Yes.
know where we can get one
Email
in the
Stacy.
area.
Don't. She doesn't have access to email.
Right now I don't. No.
Email me. And then I'll tell Stacy where to go, or I'll go buy them for her.
Yay.
All right. So you know what? You screw it, Stace. Loser goes first. I'm going first.
Okay.
And here's how Pass or Play works. I give a bunch of topics. You choose the topic. If you play the question and get it right, you get the point. If you play the question and get it wrong, your opponent gets the point. You can also pass to your opponent. If they get it wrong, you get the point. If you hear us play it, it makes sense after
Yeah.
one or
You'll
two
figure it out.
topics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good time.
What are the categories?
The categories today, where number one. Where number one.
Do you have a
Okay.
pen, Stace?
Yes. Ready?
Yeah.
Here it
no,
comes.
I got it.
Oh,
I just
okay. I thought I was
All
going
right.
to send one to you.
Harry
Good.
question.
Harry.
Ooh.
Cooking up a good question.
Mm.
How well do you know Ross? What's your job?
Fun
Where
categories.
number one? Where number one? Harry question. Cooking up a good question. How well do you know Ross? What's your job?
I'm going to go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go. How well do you know Ross?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Before rejoining Hubbard Broadcasting, where was Ross earning a paycheck? You just have to know this one. There's nothing for you.
Is this before you got let go or after you
Like
got
the
let go?
After, yep. So between
pandemic,
during
letting go.
my hiatus,
Okay,
during
I
my
wanna-
Hubbard hiatus.
I know where it is, but I don't know the call letters.
Oh, is it another
I know that
station? You mean?
it is. So I'm going to say another radio station, specifically jazz.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Good for you. You paid attention.
Yes, because I was like, Ross is at a jazz station.
What were you doing? Were you being jazzy?
I worked in development, which is basically their way of, in a roundabout way, salesy.
Okay.
When in public radio, you don't really sell radio sales. You sell basically support of the station.
Okie dokes.
And then I would do other stuff too, because just like here, my background's in so many different things. I would help.
Just throw you at wherever wall we can stick you to.
Exactly. Great station, by the way, and they're doing great work in North Minneapolis.
Good.
So if you have a few dollars, throw it their way at jazz88.fm.
Or give it to me. Okay.
Or give it to me too. Because I'm doing great work also in Minneapolis.
Yes, you are.
You are doing great work in Minneapolis. You're doing great work for us.
Where number
Stacey,
one?
what are you going to pick?
Where number one? Harry question. Cooking up a good question. What's your job?
I'll go with Harry. I don't know what else to do.
All right.
She said Harry.
She said Harry. Harry, I took care of it. A baby rabbit shares its namesake with this sporting term.
Oh.
Is it A, a kit, B, a balk?
Sorry, what was the second word?
Balk.
Oh, balk.
Balk.
Okay.
Like a baseball pitcher box.
Or like,
B-A-L-K, balk. Okay.
Correct, yep. Foul or turnover. A baby rabbit shares its namesake with this sporting term. A, kit, B, balk, C, foul, or D, turnover.
I don't know.
And I'm going to steal this because I'm not saying you're cheating, but I think there's a small chance you can see through the sheet of paper.
I can't see a damn thing. I have a spotlight in my eye. I think I know the answer, but I don't know that it is also a sports term. So I'm just going to say what I think I know. And think.
I mean, you could pass it.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
You could pass it.
I could, but I won't. It's kit.
Is it?
Is that your final answer?
It is.
That is correct.
Dang it. I was going to say turnover.
Turnover, a delicious turnover.
Well, I mean, a bunny sounds like a
turnover. If you're wondering, kit is a soccer term. That's what they call the uniform. So the uniform is a kit.
See,
balk is from baseball.
I've never heard balk.
Foul is also from baseball. And turnover is, I guess, football, basketball.
See, whatever.
This is where I start looking at the categories we have left.
And you're like, oh.
And I'm like, which ones would Stacey not get?
Yeah.
Right.
And then is the topic actually the question?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Am I
What
tricking you
what
a
was the
bit?
last category?
Harry.
What's your job?
Oh.
Let's do what's your job.
Okay. Perwordhippo.com. If I was to call you, and looking at you, Hutch, a garbo.
How you spell
Hutch,
that?
you're a garbo.
G-A-R-B-O?
Garbo. What would you do for a living? Are you a fashion designer? Are you a garbage collector? Are you a retail manager? Or are you a roadkill handler?
Oh.
Okay, so here's the deal. I am not passing to Stacey because there's too many fashion things involved in there. My first one was obviously a garbage collector because you would say garbo, garbage. You know what? No, I will pass it because I don't think she knows it. I'm passing to Stacey.
And I will turn my head to Stacey.
So you are
You garbo.
You are garbo. And so the choices are garbage collector. What else?
Fashion designer.
Fashion designer.
Retail manager. Roadkill handler. Or is it handler? It's probably handler.
Handler.
Well, the first thing I thought of was like Greta Garbo, like leave me alone.
Oh.
But I don't think that has anything to do with this.
This music gets me every time.
Since I am really guessing, I'm just going to have to go with garbage collector.
You're going to go with B, garbage collector.
I don't know what else.
That's correct.
Oh, yes!
I should have guessed. I thought that was too obvious. I thought it was way too obvious.
Sometimes the obvious answer is the answer, and sometimes the obvious answer is just a trap.
It is a red herring, if you will.
It is Stacey's turn
herring.
to pick the category.
Okay, so we have we're number one or cookery.
Yep, we're number one, or
Cooking.
cooking up a good question.
Let's just do cooking up a good question. Why not?
All right, Chef Ed Porter, I think, would be proud of this question. By the way, you can search Chef Ed Porter. You can find the interview that Stacey and Hutch did with him in 2 parts on the YouTube machine or at ks95.com. Per our friends at Bon Appetit, Mattressgalaxy.com. Stacy, a traditional chef's hat has how many folds?
Oh, stop it. No, you can't give her this one. She did this as a today I found out.
I did, but I don't know if I remember.
Oh, you don't
it
remember
right.
how many? Okay.
I hope I have it right. Is it
Okay.
100?
Is it?
Oh, wait, is that? I guess I don't know the question yet. You have to finish the question.
Well, you gave me an answer. Do I have to give you the?
Yes, give
Well,
her
we got to know the rest of the
Wow.
question. I mean, that might not be the question. Is how many there are. Maybe the question
No, that
is-
was the question. How many
Okay.
folds? A50, B100, C150, D200.
I'm going to say 100.
She's walking it off as the winner.
Because that's how many ways you can make an egg,
It's
apparently.
how many ways you can make an egg.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stacy wins 3-1.
Wow.
I'm sorry. As much as I
She
love
walked
you guys,
away
with
with it.
all the shows and podcasts that I work on,
Yeah.
I can't listen to every second of everybody's broadcasts. So you just stumbled into one. Congrats.
Wow. Nice job, Stace.
Yay, I did
That
it. What a
um,
shock.
Garbo. I love that, though.
Garbo.
I'm now
Let me-
going to start saying, oh, my Garbo man comes
Yeah,
on
here comes the
Thursdays.
Garbo.
By the way, you guys chat real quick. I'm going to go get our snack today.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
we have a snack. I'm
Great.
so excited. I'm starving.
And another on-air production note, I just literally jotted a note to myself to talk to our lovely production man to actually get an open for snack chat
That would be
that we
fun.
can use. I talked to him like a month ago
Mm.
and told him I'd email him, and I haven't. And I think I've brought that up
We
on
all
the
got
podcast
busy.
like 4 times.
Then I was out.
So-
Then I was back. Then I was out again. I don't know.
I got to email another production person about another podcast that I'm working on. So this afternoon will be
So
the.
you're basically
yes,
you're delegating.
housekeeping.
You're doing a lot of
Housekeeping.
delegating.
Tell me more about what's in your freezer, by the way. So you said you're eating healthier now.
Oh,
I'm not. My freezer is full of things from my auntie Marie Calendar,
Yeah.
frozen pizzas,
Yep. That too.
and great buys I found at Costco.
Oh, fantastic. I can't shop at Costco because it's too much
It is.
for one person.
Oh, also, I'm not joking.
Where am I gonna
Sometimes,
put
by the
it?
way, it's not the better deal.
True.
The emotional roller coaster of me going to Costco is incredible. I get excited to go, so I'm
Yeah.
like here,
Yeah.
okay. Then I get to the parking lot, and I'm like down here
You're like,
because
oh,
the parking lot's always a nightmare. Then I get inside, and I'm like, oh, look at all these great things.
all these fun things. Yeah.
And then I see all the people in the carts and I immediately get stressed out. I grab my stuff, forget half of what I came for, and leave.
Yeah.
All right, it's
Quite
time
the
for
roller
snack
coaster.
chat. You
It's
ready?
really same way at IKEA for me. I always feel like a terrible space wasting American.
Now, I don't know if what you can do because you're diabetic, Ross.
I
you
can
do a
dabble.
bite?
I can
Okay.
dabble. Yeah.
I've got the new Twix. You ready for it? Cookie dough.
Oh, this will be good, I think.
Twix
Right.
cookie dough.
There's a new Oreo too. Did you hear?
I did. Yeah, we talked about it. It's,
Did you?
It's yeah.
No, it's gone. Okay.
I'm not.
It's just
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of stuff, isn't it?
It's
And
a lot of
cookie
stuff.
and cream?
It's cookies cream, yeah, and it's just more stuff. Cookies cream.
I bought some ice cream by mistake at Quick Trip.
Grab it.
Not by mistake, because I love Quick Trip ice cream, but I thought it was something different.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. It's like mint chocolate chip, but it has cookies in it. It's really good. Can I hand that back to you?
This is spoiling my lunch, but it's really good.
Oh my god, that
I like
is-
the texture.
I do too.
But-
And it's not caramely, which is good.
I miss the caramel though.
You do?
I love caramel.
I'm just gonna eat the top because that's the cookie dough part.
And then you nibble on the bottom. I like to do the bottom first and save the best for last.
I like this.
I like
Yep.
this, but this is something you can't. You can only do one little bar.
Yeah.
It's super rich.
The cream,
I do miss the caramel too.
yeah,
It needs to be a bit just because I like it a bit chewy.
chew. Yeah, a little chew that you miss. You miss the chew. But sometimes the texture will freak me out too much if I think about it.
Hmm.
I just think, oh, is that Crisco in there? That's just colored Crisco. And then I'm like, gross.
Oh, not the person.
Not the person.
I was gonna
the-
say, wow,
the
that's-
product.
That's very upsetting that you would.
The fat
munch on
shortening.
him.
The shortening.
That's
Okay.
very deep and
Yes.
a little gross.
It's good.
It's good.
But this is king size. I don't.
I miss the caramel though. I need
You
caramel.
do?
I have to have caramel.
You know what I
I-
would like? A Snickers cookie dough.
Oh, I bet you that
Mm.
would be fantastic. You know,
Where would you put it?
Ketchup.
I'm now old enough.
Still in her
Friends.
head.
It's in my
Sorry.
hair.
The fun size is a waste of time.
No. See, well, now that I've told you what I do, fun size is perfect for me.
You
Yes.
just bite the
Yeah.
one part off
Oh
and
my
then chop
god.
the rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
even like I could probably do, and it depends on the dumping syndrome day. I can do like the minis for sure. I can pop one of those and be satisfied for a day or two.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't eat like a whole candy bar anymore, which is not bad. I mean,
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
yeah, it's weird because by the way, can I get super real quick here?
Yeah.
When I go number 2.
It's your show.
Oh man.
No, it doesn't smell anymore.
Oh, that's very
It's-
exciting.
It's by the way, it's not that men are known to smell up a bathroom, but when I go now, there's
normal.
no smell. Well, it's not even normal. No, because shouldn't they?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't smell anymore. So
That's very
now,
exciting.
if I'm at a woman's house, I don't feel like
You
I
don't
have
worry.
To, I don't have to pull the poopery out or anything.
Yes,
I'm like,
great news.
yeah, I am a natural poopery man.
That's
I
exciting.
still don't like to go to the bathroom amongst company if that's
How
the,
do you?
if that's
Yeah,
the
how
situation.
do women handle? This is a different topic.
It's not
for a different day.
easy
Because you don't want to go in front, like at his place or even at your place if he's there.
I have 2 bathrooms, but there's no like ventilation system or anything.
And the 2 bathrooms, by the way, probably 15 apart from each other.
Mhm.
15
really?
feet. 15
Okay.
feet. Yeah. So it's not like it's a huge separation. I mean, one's maybe closer to the living room than the
Yeah.
other. But women, Nicole, did I ever tell you this story? The first time I went to Nicole's place when we started dating in 2010, I made her dinner. And the dinner was good. She ate it. It was not from my dinner, but like as soon as she was in the middle of dinner, she goes, "You got to go."
Because she had to go.
She had to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god!
And she was in there.
I'd be more
apparently.
embarrassed to tell that person that they had to go for that reason. I'd be like, I'm going to go to the drugstore and I'll be back in 20
always-
minutes.
Oh my God. Well,
See-
it would have been longer for her because she told me
She was
that
ill.
it was all night.
Trouble. Oh, no.
What I always think about is, so say you're for me you get back into a committed relationship, right? Maybe you're spending some time over at somebody's house. Maybe you've moved in. Heck, just the first time, the next day you get up, you go to the restroom, and then that person immediately needs to get into that same shared space to use
Oh.
the shower,
Yeah.
Yep.
or maybe also go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be like a half an hour window before you
How
can
do
even walk in.
you
there.
and the cat share the litter box? How does that work? Do you have a system?
I
How
only
does
use,
that-
I only use the litter box if it's number one.
Mm,
Number two, I'm housebroken. So ladies, I do want
Oh
you
my
to
God.
know
that's good.
I am housebroken.
Okay, good. There you go.
I'm going to
All
show
right.
you some updated pictures of Lainey Lou after
This
this.
may be the
Oh.
last. This may be the last day Mattress Galaxy sponsors us.
Oh, good.
No,
Lucky you.
They
they're
knew what
fun.
they were getting
They
into.
knew. Oh,
Yeah,
trust
they
me.
know. They know the fun.
They met Stacy. They knew what they were getting into. And then they saw me dancing with them.
Right? So,
Suzanne.
oh, look at Kitty.
Here you go. Oh, look at Kitty.
Puss.
Lainey Lou.
You both have the same face. It's cute.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. Next week,
What are we doing?
I booked someone.
You did?
I hope she comes through. Her name is Danny,
Okay.
and she is a local influencer.
Okay.
Now, I've always wanted to talk to an influencer because they make us try to do it, and we're not influencers.
I'm not good at it. I think- I've been working on the same like reel for about 2 days, and then I lost it, and I had to start over.
Well, maybe we'll get some tips from her.
I would like that.
Because she has 75,000 people that follow her,
Oh, maybe they'll follow us.
and she live right. Yeah, yeah. Can we?
That's the
That's
the plan.
the goal.
That's
I
the
didn't
goal.
even think of it. But we'll talk to her next week because I want to know how much influencers get paid on posts.
Yeah, that
I
would be
wanna
nice to know.
Right? I want to know, how do you even decide I'm going to be an influencer? There's a lot of that world that is super secretive that I just kind of want to.
There's Henry
Are we
saying,
showing cats?
Oh,
"Where are you
cute.
going today? What's happening? Why are you leaving the house?"
Where's your cat picture, Hutch?
doesn't
Leo's
have
not mine anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Oh.
he looks a lot
No,
like Henry.
don't go. Oh, I'm happy.
He looks like Henry. He's very sweet. though.
Cats will plot deaths.
He's a great
are
cat.
so
I would have stolen
nice.
your cat if I could have.
All right, there you go.
Okay,
Well, that is
that's
that.
enough.
We'll see you guys next week. And don't forget to tune. Oh, thanks to Mattress Galaxy. Anything else we got?
Oh, we're good.
On social, Stacy with an I, KS95. Hutch with an H, KS95. You are
On the Twitter machine at Brendel
on the
Ross.
Twitter machine. He's so old. All right, we'll see you guys here again as we do this thing next week. Bye.
Bye.